I'd like to talk to you about Navajo Pictorial Weavings. Now, these are a very small subset of what you would see in the Navajo rugs. When you think of weavings in Navajos, blankets, rugs, saddle blankets, trading posts like Ganado, Two Gray Hills, that kind of thing. But you also have pictorials, and these were done as early as the late 1860s. White antelope blankets we know has some small birds in them. We've seen second phase chiefs blankets from that 1870s time frame that have had animals incorporated into the chiefs blanket, so you can see them very early on. The nice thing about the pictorials is that they have more than just collectors that collect them for the blanket aspects. They also have folk art, right? This is really, when you see something like this blanket, this is right around the turn of the century. You can see it has no border on it, a really simplistic animal figure, probably a, well, you guess, I don't know, but it's a horse, a cow, it can be whatever you want it to be, but it's very simple. Something like this that's early and unique and has that kind of nativité is really an interesting piece. Other pieces, maybe not so. You have yays, which are very common. This is from the 60s or 70s. If you look at something like this, there's literally thousands of these kind of pieces, and they don't really have a lot of great value. They could be anywhere from $200 to $650 on average. Something like this, well, this is over $1,000, I bet. Yep, $1,200, because it's a rarity. Also, it's interesting. Now, there are yays that can be very valuable if they're either sand paintings, which are a different kind of category of pictorial, or if they're just intricate with a lot of design and interesting motion going on. Things that I've seen that are more contemporarily from the 60s and 70s, you can even see things like I've seen the moon launch that's been done on it. I have a picture of one that was done of a lion. So these are unusual imagery, so they're going to be more valuable. This is one of those cases where the more unusual it is, probably the more valuable it's going to be. I have a picture of one image that's of butterflies and cats. Now, I've never seen that combination together, and cats are not very common. So when you're valuing and looking at pictorials, if it's unusual, it's going to have more value. Some of the most valuable are things that have motion in them, like trains, planes, automobiles, especially the trains. These can be very valuable indeed. So if you happen to find those, and they're often earlier, 1890s, those can be of great interest. Now, here's a caveat, though. I have seen weavings where they've actually woven in a train. They were, as an old weaving, they wove in a train because they knew it was going to be worth a lot of money. So you have to really look at these things. You can't just go, oh, it's got a train in it, it has to be valuable. You better make sure the train was there to begin with. And that's one of the little tips you want to take away from when you think about pictorial weavings.
By Medicine Man Gallery, located for over 26 years in Tucson, Arizona, specializing in antique Native American art, early Western art, including the famed Maynard Dixon, as well as modern art. You can find everything online at medicinemangallery.com. There's over 6,000 objects to select from. Also, the Charles Bloom Murder Mystery Series, written by yours truly, me, Mark Sublette. There's 6 books in this series, and they follow the protagonist Charles Bloom through all the intrigue of the art world set in Santa Fe and the Navajo Nation. These can be found on Audible, ebooks, Amazon, and of course, the gallery at medicinemangallery.com.